start out your Friday, but big changes are on the way for this afternoon. Good morning, Michiana. I'm ABC 57 meteorologist Monica Ott with your first warning neighborhood weather. We are tracking big changes on the way. Cooler temperatures, rain, and maybe even some thunder as early as this afternoon. We'll have the latest timing of forecast track coming up. ABC 57 News at 6:30 continues now.
This just in, we're following breaking news out of Benton Harbor. Welcome, I'm Keitha Nelson. Right now, emergency crews are on the scene of a house fire on Napier Avenue. Let's get to some photos of the scene. These were sent in by one of our viewers, Chad Marr. As you can see, massive flames are shooting out of the roof. We're told crews have been fighting flames since just before 5 this morning. We're working to gather more information for you. ABC 57's Eric Stelzer is headed out there now. Be sure to stick with us for the very latest developments, both on air and online at abc57.com. Wow, look at those photos. All right, we're going to turn things over now to ABC 57 First Warning. Neighborhood meteorologist Monica Ott. She has a quick look at your forecast. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning, Keitha, and we are off to a beautiful start to the day. Sunshine, mild temperatures in the upper 60s, and we will be watching, though, for some big changes through the afternoon. By the noon hour, those temperatures will be in the upper 70s, and we'll be watching for some cloud cover, maybe a few scattered showers, and a rumble of thunder through the afternoon and into the evening. We'll have the latest timing of forecast track to pinpoint the arrival of showers in your backyard coming up in just a few minutes. Keitha?
Investigators are searching for clues into what led to a vacant house fire in South Bend. It sparked around 2:30 this morning at a house near the intersection of Calvert and Vernon Streets. Now, fire crews tell us a neighbor called it in saying he thought he heard fireworks, but when he went outside, he saw this, flames coming from the garage behind his house. The flames were so large they damaged neighboring homes.
It was next to a vacant house, so we're kind of looking into that. We're not sure if there's electricity to the garage or anything.
Now, no injuries were reported, but the fire chief tells us there was a car inside of that garage, and as you can imagine, it is now badly damaged.
We went to the baseball park and it just started to rain, and then we were sitting there waiting for us to be able to play baseball, and it started hailing.
Check out this home video of hail slamming a North Liberty neighborhood. Thursday night storms brought this along with some strong winds. The severe weather moved quickly through parts of Marshall and St. Joseph counties. People living in the area tell us some of the hail was golf ball sized or bigger. And check out the damage in Hammond as strong storms raced through the area Thursday night, taking down trees and power lines. The winds blew down a huge tree, which then toppled and hit a home. Police say much of the damage is in central Hammond.
Just the trees snapping like toothpicks. They were just picking them up and dropping them down.
It looks like a tornado went through. I've never seen anything like it.
There were no injuries there, but the city's mayor says there's 15 to 20 big trees down. And we have some good news to report from Indiana Michigan Power. As of this morning, power has officially been restored to all of St. Joseph County. Most of the area went without power all week long, stemming from Monday's severe storms. Elkhart's power is also restored this morning, and in Michigan, Berrien is the only county reporting outages. At this hour, there are about 250 homes without power there. Meanwhile, last night's storms knocked out power to 28,000 NIPSCO customers. People living in Michigan City tell us they've been without power for 4 days and no one is getting answers from the company. We went searching for answers and called NIPSCO to get an update. They tell us power should be fully restored sometime today. Flooding is also a concern here in St. Joseph County. Sandbags are available if you need them. You can pick some up at one of 8 locations, including the South Bend and Mishawaka Street departments. For a full list of locations, visit abc57.com. And on the roads, there's a restriction in St. Joseph County that drivers need to know about this morning. If you frequent Adams Road in northern St. Joseph County, you may want to find another route. Paving crews are taking over a stretch of the road from Ironwood to Grape. There will be lane restrictions throughout the project, which is set to be completed by Saturday. A supermajority of senators passed a bipartisan immigration reform bill. It would grant 11 million undocumented immigrants immediate legal status and a path to citizenship. The bill promises to overhaul U.S. immigration laws for the first time since 1986. The bill was passed 68 to 32. New developments in a story ABC 57 News has been following closely all week long. We're talking about the deadly Union Mill silo explosion. all night Thursday, crews trucked smoldering grain out of Union Mills. The company is still investigating the cause of that explosion that killed 67-year-old James Swank. And funeral services are in place for an Elkhart teen killed by gunfire. Officers say 16-year-old Braxton Barhams was shot in the chest and killed over the weekend. It happened on Garfield Avenue in Elkhart. Overnight, hundreds of friends and family members gathered for a vigil in honor of him at Concord High School.
If we begin to demonstrate love everywhere we go, what happened to Braxton won't happen again.
Barham's funeral is set for this Saturday morning at 10. The service will be held at Agape Missionary Baptist Church that's out in Elkhart. The parents of an Indiana University student who vanished in 2011 are filing a lawsuit against 3 men, claiming the men were with Lauren Spear the night she disappeared. After a night of partying in downtown Bloomington, her family never saw the 20-year-old again. The federal lawsuit claims the students gave her alcohol and failed to take care of her. Spear's parents say several people who were with her that night haven't fully cooperated with police. Right now, South African political leader Nelson Mandela remains on life support. At this hour, he's in critical but stable condition. This morning, President Obama will fly to South Africa to see Mandela. For the past 3 days, family members and South African leaders have been holding prayer vigils. The 94-year-old former president of South Africa was placed on life support Wednesday. Meanwhile, the search continues for a racing sailboat and its crew of 6 Americans and a British national. They vanished on the high seas after leaving port in New Zealand. The mission controller for the search says they have serious concerns for the crew, but they have not given up hope of finding survivors. New this morning, it's day 5 in the George Zimmerman murder trial, and testimony is getting tense. The woman who was on the phone with Trayvon Martin moments before his death was back on the stand Thursday. The defense nailed her down on her prior lies and inconsistencies, taking shots at her credibility while demanding to know why she left out parts of her story in an interview with the Martin family attorney.
So you weren't worried about telling him, first of all, the truth or the whole story?
First of all, Croft is not law enforcement. He's not an officer. I knew that he was not an officer.
She also told the courtroom she specifically remembers Trayvon yelling "get off" right before the phone went dead. Zimmerman, a former neighborhood watchman, is charged with second-degree murder in the death of 17-year-old Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman says it was self-defense. An inmate who escaped from the St. Joseph County Jail in a bread truck will spend more time behind bars. 27-year-old Franklin Rice was sentenced to 16 years in prison after his escape back in April. Police say a delivery driver left the keys in the ignition, and that's when Rice jumped in and drove off. Police arrested Rice at a home in Bremen that very same day. 37 minutes now past the hour, 68 degrees outside. A Michiana neighborhood honors a local man who's been fighting for his life every single day over the span of a year. Still to come, ABC 57's Daryl Bajor shares a story of inspiration. Plus, this morning, the annual 4-H fair kicks off in St. Joseph County. We've got a preview just ahead.
Flooding will continue to be a concern through the weekend. We are tracking the chance for more rain and a few rumbles of thunder with the latest timing of forecast track straight ahead.